Class example 4.41. Write an equation in point slope form for the line. So what is point slope form? Well, it's our equation y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. And if you remember from the previous pages there, m is our slope, right? So we just need to figure out what the slope of this line is. And then the y1 and the x1, those really correspond to some point on the graph. That could be any point, actually, as long as it's on the graph. So let's first just figure out what the slope is. So you can take any place on this line that it nicely crosses through a grid, is what I would do, and then find another place where it crosses through nicely, and then see what you had to do to get to it. So this is going down 2 over 1. Okay? So then we can say then our slope, which is really the rise over the run. Well, in this case, our rise is, it's actually going down, right? So you can think of this as like -2. So our rise is going down, so -2 over 1. But we wouldn't typically leave it as -2 over 1. We just write that as -2. So let's say our slope is -2. Okay, so we figured out our first piece of the puzzle here. So let's write that in. So we've got y minus y1 is equal to, and now I know my slope is -2, and I'm left with x minus x1. So now the next thing is just to figure out some point on the graph, and this could actually be like any point on the graph. So let's choose just randomly right here. I'll choose this point. And this point is the point 1, 3, right? Which really means it has an x value of 1 and a y value of 3. This is my x1 and my y1. So if you want x1 and y1. So these are the numbers that are going to go into my equation. So now let's fill it in. So we got y minus, and then my y1 was 3. So this is 3 is equal to -2 x, and then my x1, it was for the point 1, right? So then that's -1. And there you go. That is the equation of my line written in point slope form. Now I do want to just pick another point though. Let's do it again. And let's maybe pick a point down here just to show you that it doesn't matter. So then in this case, so here, I'm going to put a box around that. So that is the equation of our line. Let's do it one more time. So now we'll say y. And now y1 in this case, so let's write out this point. This point is happening at 6, comma, and then -7. All right, so again, this is like an x value, and that's my y value. So y minus y1, so this will be minus, and then just careful. So what I do is I put the -7, this value, in brackets. So -7, right? So it's minus -7 is equal to -2, and then we've got x, and then minus, and then this is still positive, so that'll be straightforward. So that'll be 6, and then there you go. Now this is awkward. I'm going to leave that like that, right? If you go minus a negative, well, that's the same thing as adding. So we're going to go y plus 7 is equal to -2 times x minus 6. All right, so you may think, well, those are different equations, but you know what? They're actually not, and they would simplify it to be the same equation if you did some fancy algebra. But this equation is equivalent to this equation. So you can pick any point on this line that you like.